All right, today we're gonna make Milanesa. What Milanesa is basically is like a flank steak or a flat steak or a skirt steak, whatever, and pound it out evenly or pound it, straight or smaller than this because I got thin cuts of meat here, and don't get like really expensive, like big chunky steaks and stuff, and then pound it out. A lot of people hunt you down by doing stuff like that. You want to get some cheap steaks, some really thin ones you can use just to thin it out. All right, just get some cheap ones, right? And what we're gonna do is it's gonna be pounded out thinly, and then we're gonna what Milanesa is basically is that with breaded. It's kind of like a breaded, like in the South thing, it's more like a chicken fried steak, I guess. I don't know, but that's what we're gonna do. All right. But we're also going to make another version of it, which is also called Milanesa de Bollo, which basically means Milanesa breaded, but de Bollo is of chicken. Bollo is chicken. So de Bollo, chicken. So we're also going to do that. We got some boneless breast, chicken breast, and what we're going to do is we're going to grab a knife and we're just going to just hold it down and just cut it down, slice them down a little thin, right? Be careful. So basically that's what it is. So the bread what we're going to use is we're going to do like a wash with eggs. So we're going to get 3 eggs, about 3 eggs. I mean, you're going to use as much eggs as you need to, depending on how much you're going to make. If you're going to make a little bit, then you can probably get away with 1, maybe 2, and then. But if you're going to make quite a bit, like we got here, I'd say about 3 minimum. So we're just going to crack eggs, scramble them up, put them in there. Put them in one thing. The other one we're going to do is then we're going to put it into some flour. And then for flour, we're going to put in some panko breadcrumbs. I like panko breadcrumbs. You can use regular breadcrumbs. It'll be alright to use them, or you can just use flour and stuff. I like using the panko breadcrumbs because it gives it a little much more of a crunch when you're eating the Milanesa and the chicken stuff, right? So it gives it much more of a crunch when you bite into it, okay? So that's what we're gonna end up doing. So we end up getting also some plastic wrap, because what we're gonna do is when you pound it out, you're gonna lay the plastic wrap down, you're gonna lay the meat, and then you're gonna lay the plastic, and you're gonna pound it down. Right? Or get a pan or whatever. If you got like a pot, a big pot thing, you can use that to pound it down too. Whatever you got. You don't have,
If you have a cast iron, it's perfect.
Cast iron. You got a cast iron? Perfect. That'd be really heavy. So, we want it to even flatten this all around so it cooks evenly. All right, so what we're going to have here is oil. We're going to put some oil in here, and that's where we're going to end up cooking it, right? So we're just going to just pour the oil as much as it will cover everything as you lay it down. That's all. You don't need a full big, don't fill the whole thing up with oil, just enough just so it will cover when you lay it down in there, it'll cover it and cook it and fry it, right? So that's what we're gonna do. All right, so let's just go ahead and start cutting down the chicken, and then we'll go ahead and start, pounding everything down, all right? Okay, so we got chicken breasts here, right? I put them back on the plate, just so I can, one at a time, I'm just gonna grab them and just cut them down. Not gonna be perfect, just be careful when you're laying down, don't go up with it when you're going like that, don't do that. Just keep an eye on it, just make sure you got an even, just keep your hand even, keep your fingers up, roll your fingers up, and just find your middle, and just go slowly, just slowly at it. And then when you get towards the end here, just go ahead and lift it up and kind of move your hand off to the side, and then just keep working it that way, all right? So that's how you wanna do it. So that way, when you lay it down, see, you get perfectly like that. Okay, that's basically what we're at. It's gonna make some big bread sticks, but that's okay. That's gonna be good. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do the rest of these, and then we'll go from there, right? Okay, as you saw, went ahead and cut down the chicken. I sliced them in half, right? I went and did that. I went ahead and washed the board all off. I washed my hands, washed my knife and everything. Just make sure so that, if you don't want cross-contamination with chicken, you don't want any of that stuff. That's bad. That'd be bad. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and pound them down and thin them out a little bit more. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put them on this plate, just lay them all out after I'm done, right? So what we're gonna do is just the nemesis of everybody, cellophane. Clear wrap. I'm just gonna cut one piece, put it laid down here, lay it flat, and then we're gonna get another piece that we're gonna lay on top of the chicken. Alright, so we're just gonna do that. Kind of get the size that we want. Lay it off the side for right now. Okay, so what we're gonna do is grab one piece. Alright, lay it down flat on there. Grab this one. This is where everybody's nemesis is on everybody right there, because it does wants to keep closing on it. So we're just gonna lay it down, alright? And all we're gonna do is just pound it out. Don't use the tenderizer part of it. If you have one of these, don't use the tenderizer part. Use the flat part. You don't want to poke holes all in the thing. You're not. All you're doing is flatten it out. You're not actually tenderizing it. You're just flattening it out. So that's basically. Just lightly do it. You don't have to go really hard on it, because then it's gonna just be a mess. You're just gonna lightly. All right, that's about it. Let's see show you how it looks like. So we're just gonna peel this top part off. All right. I'm gonna take it all the way out, because what I want to do is I'm gonna lay the next piece on it. All right, so see about that thin. See how thin that is? It's okay if it tries to come apart right there. It's okay. So you want it about that thin, right? So we're just gonna lay them all here, and we're just gonna go through all these and make sure they're all about the same size. All right. Okay, so now we're on the steak part, right? Same thing. Get some cellophane, put it on the bottom, put the meat in the middle, put another one on top. When I cleaned it, wash my hands. You know, got cleaned the mallet. So we're just gonna do the same thing with that, you know, as we did with the chicken, right? We're just gonna pound it out. Thin it out a little bit. Thin it out a little bit. Alright, as you notice, I'm actually on the meat ones. I'm actually using the tenderizer side, because at the same time I'm pounding, I'm actually just tenderizing it. The chicken, you don't have to do that, because if you use that on the chicken, it's just going to splatter everywhere. It's going to just break it up. It's going to beat the mess out of the chicken. You don't want to do that. So with the steak, I'm using the tenderized side, right? So I'm just kind of hitting it and using it, but I'm not doing real hard. I'm just kind of lightly going at it and flattening it out. So same thing. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing with this. Go through them all. Okay. Okay, so I got everything all pounded down, so it's all nicely evened. We'll work on the chicken first. Basically, I went ahead and did, since I saw how much I had, I went ahead and used I got 5 eggs in there now. All I did was like broke them open and just scrambled them up inside there, right? So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna go ahead and season the flour, and then we're gonna season the flour. So you got 2 ways to do it. You can just do normal, you know, pepper, add some pepper and add some salt in it, right? You know, you can do it that way. You know, we're just gonna throw it. We can do it that way. So what I like to do is I found this one with this roasted garlic and herbs, you know, that I found that we use for the grill and stuff. That actually works really well as well. So whatever season you like, just go ahead and use that and pour it in here. You know, experiment on different type seasons. Like, you know, when you make it, you want a different type of a flavor, then go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna use some of this. Just be just generous, not too generous, but just enough. Like I always say, just do a good coating on it, like that. All right. And then just grab a fork and just mix it into the flour. All right, that's all we're gonna do. All right, shake it a little bit just to even it off, flatten it out. Okay, so we have 2 forks, right? One's going to be when we put it in there, we can use it to kind of throw it under and coat it a little bit. That way we don't get our hands too messy. You're going to get messy. It is what it is. Try your best not to get them. What do you call them?
Contaminated?
Contaminated from one to the other. So you're going from dry, there, here, and then on a plate. And then, so that's what you're gonna do, right? So, once you do that, so you try your best not to contaminate it this way. So, but you do what you can, right? All right, so what we're gonna do, like I said, we're gonna put this here, right? So we're gonna do, thank you, honey. I forgot a plate to my finishing product. There. All right, so basically all I'm doing is I'm dredging on one side, I'm flipping it over to the other side, and then I'm just gonna sit there and wait a little bit. Let it take the excess off, right? Drip, drip, drip. And then I'm just gonna lay it onto the flour, right? Have a towel, so you can wipe your hands. Always have one of these on handy. I like them. So here at this part, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab some of the flour, kind of throw it up on top of it. Give it off, right? So now I'm gonna just pat it down a little bit, kind of compress it into it, and then pick it up, go to the other side, do the same thing. That's all we're doing. Right, just compact it a little bit more, right? And then just shake it off a little bit. Okay. So then at this point, we're gonna do the same thing with breadcrumbs, right? We're just gonna go and throw it in there. Throw it on top. Then you kind of press down in that, right? This is the panko breadcrumbs. All right, then turn over, do the same thing. And throw some on top there. Press down. Take your hands off to take it off, right? So there we go. All right, we're just gonna put this on a plate, and then we're just gonna go through all the chickens and do that, right? Okay, so as you can see, we're now done with the chicken. We've got a fresh thing of flour, we've got a fresh thing of panko crumbs, fresh eggs, and we got the steaks ready to go. So now we're gonna go same process, continue with the process. Wash my hands, you know, after doing the chicken as well. So now we're just gonna run it through again, but this time we're gonna do the steaks, right? Same process, just dip them. Dip it, coat both sides. Just let it drip the excess off. Just lay it down there. Yes. And yeah, good. So we're gonna do this, right? And if you have help, that'd be great. Like my wife's gonna help me out here, doing the egg part and just lay it in there. That way I don't keep. I already messed up another one of these already. Another towel thing because I was full of egg.
It was gross.
It was gross. She touched it. She tried trying her hands on it. Found out that it actually made it worse because it had egg yolk all over it. For me, rubbing my hands off. All right, same thing. Got it into the flour, right? Seasoned flour. Panko breadcrumbs again, same thing. Exact same process as the chicken. All right, so we're just gonna dip both sides, get them coated really good. Press down, make sure it gets a good pressing on it, so it gets a nice coating on it. Turn it over, make sure we get another side. The other side, do the same thing. Okay. So there we go. All right, so now we're gonna put this on the other plate. Okay, so like I said before, we're going in, we're starting to fry them up, right? Basically just get them at a medium-high heat. We're going to just put it in the, go ahead and do the steaks first. Just lay them in there, let them go for a little bit, and we kind of just check them every time. Just let it go for a little bit, for about a minute or two. Just let it sit in there, just start to build up a crust around it, and then we're going to try to check it and flip it over. It'll start going to the top when it starts frying up really good, and that's how you'll know when it's, you know, starting to work at it really good. It built up a really nice crust. We're just gonna do a little one at a time. Then when we're through with that, we'll do the chicken. Okay, so now that we went ahead and did the Milanesa, the steaks, right? Now we're gonna go ahead and do the chickens. Same thing, same process. Just lay them in there. Slowly, just lay them in there slowly. It'll, you know, let them work, let them cook up. Alright, there's one. Look at that. Nice piece. Yeah, nice lightly brown. Just go through them all and work them that way, alright? Okay, here we are. Milanesa. Basically, Milanesas are the ones right here with the ones with the meat or steaks that we breaded up and fried them up. Here's the Milanesa de pollo, basically. Chicken, and it's breaded chicken. All right, so you can just eat them like that. You know, put them on a meal, a plate, eat it like that. Or the way I like doing it is, what I did is in my last video. I'll link it in my last video and stuff. I'm making the Bollios. Okay, so in that, what I did was I just cut it down the middle, like I said before. Skin bread knife, cut it down the middle like I did here. And then all I did was put it on a flat pan. I actually put some butter on it. And then I just put it on a flat pan over there. And all I did is, you know, grilled it, basically, just toasted it. So basically I just toasted it. I want it toasted because it's still gonna be soft in the middle. But what I did is I toasted it just so that it can hold all the other ingredients. I mean, it just doesn't fall, you know, squish down into it. So I wanted some kind of a base so I can hold stuff. Okay, so let's do this. What I'm gonna do is, first off, see, it's the way Bollios. I give me a good piece of chicken or something like that, right? Too big, right? That's okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to cut this down a little bit, right? Just cut it in half. Cut it in, like in diagonal, fine another way, right? So I'm not gonna eat it all. I'm just gonna grab one. It's gonna fit, right? There you go. So, the way he said, so basically what I'm going to be doing here with this is I'm going to make a torta. What a torta is basically, with the Bollios, like I said before, is it is just nothing but a Mexican sandwich. So, a torta is basically the way I make it is refried beans, right? Okay, so refried beans is basically, again, make your own beans. I'll show you how to make it. Make it like a refried beans and stuff. So I'll link that as well, right? So I'll link it and everything. So that, and then we go from there. Okay. So what I do is I go ahead at the bottom. I'll just line it up like that with beans. That's basically what a torta is. Just kind of line it up at the bottom. Some refried beans, right? This is the powdered cheese, right? Or I can't remember how you say it, but yeah, it's a powdered Mexican cheese, right? So I just kind of put it on the beans like that. All right. Grab my chicken, my breaded chicken or Milanesa de pollo. Put it on there like that. All right. And at this part, okay, you can put mayonnaise. They usually put like mayonnaise on top of it and such. But what I like to do is I like to make like a Chipotle Mayo, creamy, I call it a Chipotle cream sauce, right? I'll link it up again, right? My salsas, I have 6 salsas you can do all kinds of salsas on it. So this is really good, like I said, for sandwiches and such, right? Like I said in the video, if you watch it and stuff, you'll see it. And just line that up like that. Just give it a good line like that. Look at that. So we'll put that on that side. Okay. So then, if you want, you can also put some guac on it. Guacamole, you know, short guac, you know, guacamole. We don't like guacamole on things, right? So there you go. You just lay it on top of each other like that. There you go. Okay, just cut that down. There you go, look at that. Nice. So, let's take a bite. It gets messy when you eat these things. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Really crunchy. The Milanesa, the pollo, gets really crunchy, especially with that panko breadcrumbs all over it. That gives it that extra crunch. Really nice crunch. You know, nice. You can taste the, you know, the chipotle stuff through it as well. Chipotle Mayo and beans. Oh, that all works really well together. Yeah. Good. All right. Enjoy yourself.